And we are live. Hey, hey, happy Friday, everybody. Hello, hello. Is anyone awake this morning? Hello, as you are chiming in, let me know that you're here. Give me a hi, give me a wave. Let me know that you're here. Hi, good morning, Tanisha. Brianna, hi. Thank you, ladies, for being up so early. I hope y'all are doing well on this fabulous Friday. So, procrastination. We're on here today to talk about procrastinating. Brianna says Violet and I are awake in PDX. PDX. What is PDX? I don't know what. Share with me what PDX is. I'm not really good with acronyms. I've never been that good with acronyms. Portland. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, so as we're waiting for other people to chime in, as you're coming on, let me know that you're here. Tell me where you're tuning in from. If you're catching the replay, comment that you're here. Let me know that you're here and where you're tuning in from. I would love to know what part of the world you are in. Procrastination. Aw, thanks, Brianna. I'm so glad you love watching me. I hope that the things that I come on and share with everyone is helpful. Talking about procrastination, I'll go ahead and share, but procrastination is one of the things that I fight with all the time and have all throughout my life. And one of the biggest things that I procrastinate on is actually showing up in front of people. And I've struggled with it ever since I was in school. I've struggled with it all through my adult life. And if it comes to showing up in front of people and getting up and talking in front of people and that kind of thing, I would do whatever I could to procrastinate. And if I could get out of it, I would make excuses as to why I couldn't do it. And actually to the point of I would literally get sick. I would physically get sick to help me not have to show up in front of people. So I've always had a fear of talking in front of people or stage fright. Hence, I don't know why, but for some reason, all through my life, I have come into these roles that actually require me to get in front of people and to stand up and talk and to teach and to coach. And, I was a corporate trainer for 10 years. So therefore, I was up in front of people talking all the time. And this huge fear was something that I literally had to fight with over and over and over. And work through so that I could stop procrastinating and move forward in my career and my life and that kind of thing, because I had to pay the bills, right? So, and I don't know how I kept landing all of these positions where I was having to get up and talk in front of people. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Janet. Thank you so much for being here. Where are you tuning in from? And Tanisha said she's from Reedsville, North Carolina. Awesome. Right down the road. Not too far away from me. I'm in Thomasville, North Carolina. So procrastination is something I know very, very well. I've had to work on my procrastinating and overcome a lot of the fears and the reasons of why I didn't want to show up in front of people. And for so long, I never understood why. Why was this happening? Why And when I say a fear, I don't mean just, like not looking forward to it or getting a little nervous. Like, my stage fright would get to the point of where I would have tunnel vision, I would have ringing in my ears, my throat would swell up, I would literally get dizzy. But as I was going through and learning these things about myself, I started learning that a lot of it stems from childhood and the things that we are being told and that we grew up around, and our perception of life and everything that's happened to us has created this fear. Hi, Tracy. Thank you for being here on this early Friday morning. I appreciate you ladies so much. So, procrastination, and still to this day, like, it's not as bad as it used to be, but I still procrastinate quite a bit, especially on the things that I dread so much. And so still showing up live on the regular is something that I struggle with. And it's not as bad as it used to be, but I'm working on it. But there are other things in life that I find myself procrastinating on as well. Let's say taxes. What the hell? I don't know why I hate doing taxes so bad. And it's not even that I'm even doing them anymore. I'm paying someone else to do my taxes. But just getting the shit together to give that person to do my taxes, I don't know what it is. But I have been procrastinating. And as soon as I heard on the news that they were extending the tax out to, what are they extending it out to? June 15th or something like that. I was like, hell yes. I still don't have to get this stuff together. I still got time. I don't know why. So, and even when this pandemic started, and I found out that I wasn't going to be working for 2 weeks, at least at that time it was 2 weeks. I was like, okay, 2 weeks, I can deal with this. Yay, I can focus. I can focus on the things that I haven't been able to focus on because, I'm at work all day and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I'd be damned if I didn't sit on my ass for 2 weeks. Right? Just staring at the TV and just like being engulfed in everything that was going on and going through all the emotions, all the different perceptions and everything crazy going on in the world, where I actually allowed it to take me over, and I stayed stagnant for a couple of weeks, just sitting there and just not knowing, why am I not taking advantage of this time? Why am I not spending the time doing all the things that I said I was going to do? Brianna says, I procrastinate on laundry. Yes! Freaking laundry! I hate laundry. Like, I'm okay with putting laundry in the washer and the dryer, but I don't want to fold it and put it up. I hate that. I will live out of a laundry basket full of clean clothes before I actually take the time to put it away. I don't know why, but I've always been that way. And until my husband and I got together, that's the way I lived, because I hated it so much. And I would do the laundry, but it would stay in baskets or in a pile at the end of the bed, and I would just pull out of it and wear all week. But of course, now that Chris and I are together, he obviously loves doing laundry or something, I guess, and I'm so thankful. Thank God he loves doing laundry and putting it away. So a lot of times we have a deal. I'm like, okay, I'll put it in the washer and the dryer. You can put it away. And he's like, okay, that's cool. So I'm so thankful for that. We kind of worked out a situation here. Brianna said, same, hate folding and hanging. Yes, I hate it. Anyway, but those are things, right, that we procrastinate on. There's so many different things. So Brianna says, I didn't get that Carazalis gene. Man, I'm telling you, it would be nice to have, right? I'm glad I have a Carazalis in my life that actually likes doing that. So, all right, so if you are here with me live or catching the replay, I want you to share with us some things that you know that you procrastinate on a regular basis. go ahead and share with me in the comments here. Let us know that we are not alone, that you procrastinate as well. And share with us some of the things that you notice that you procrastinate on. So going through my journey in life, and especially when I started investing in myself and working on myself to work through a lot of the things that that I knew I was dealing with and things that were holding me back, and health was one of them. So my health and focusing on that, as I was going through and working with my own coaches and going through my own certification and that kind of thing, I started learning where I was procrastinating, where I was putting things off, why I was doing it, and if I found myself doing it and didn't know why, I had the tools to kind of help myself uncover why I kept procrastinating on things that I knew were very important or thought were very important. And I have learned to notice this and bring myself out of it, which is actually what I'm coming on here today to share with you, to kind of give you the opportunity to uncover why you keep procrastinating as well. So share with me in the comments, what is it that you are procrastinating on a regular basis about? And so first of all, knowing what we are procrastinating about is not enough, right? We know we're procrastinating. We say we want to do the things. We want to do all the things. We want to eat better. We want to get more movement in. We want to clean our house. We want to take a course. We want to read a book. We want to, but still we continue to find reasons as to why we can't, right? And so it gets so frustrating because we don't understand why we keep doing this. Why isn't something that we want so bad or we feel is so important to accomplish or to do, and we know that if we accomplish them, that it would add so much value to our health and our life, but we still continue to put it off. And what's frustrating is we don't know why. And so therefore we get very frustrated, we get judgmental in ourselves. Let's see, what does Brianna say? Working out is also another one for me. Yes. Hi Linda, how are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, working out is another one. Still to this day, I mean, I know I get way more movement than I used to, but I still procrastinate on it, and I have to catch myself and realize that I am procrastinating. So, all right, Gidget, why in the hell are you procrastinating? You know you need to be doing this. And then I go into my routine of helping me pull myself out of the procrastination and why I'm putting it off. So certain things get easier and easier over time once you learn why you're procrastinating and how to stop yourself. We all face it. We all face it at some point or another, whether it's washing dishes, doing laundry, cleaning the house, or doing something big and huge. Committing to our health, committing to our movement, committing to going back to school and getting a certification or an education, something, committing to learning a new skill to get that promotion. Things that cause us to procrastinate, we all have faced it. Having Viola has helped with a lot of my procrastination. I want to be a good role model for her. Yes, yes, absolutely. Children can definitely help pull you out of the procrastination, because absolutely we've got to set a good example for our kids. They're watching us. So how we live our life, how we take care of ourselves and the things that we do is telling them how they need to take care of themselves and the things that they do in their lives and what is important, right? And so that's actually a lot of what we're going to get into today. So before we get into uncovering your procrastination and getting to the bottom of what is stopping you, we need to understand what it is. And why does it keep happening, right? Because that's the biggest frustration, is we don't know why. And we'll tell ourselves that we're lazy. We'll tell ourselves, you know, who do you think you are to be able to make this change? You can't even get up off your ass to do this, or you can't do that. Or, you know, you start just judging yourself and beating yourself up because you start thinking, you know, just think where I would be if I would have just started months ago whenever I told myself I needed to. Just think of where I would be if I hadn't had laid on the couch and watched Netflix all day long. Just think of what my body would look like if I would just do those 20 squats every day for 2 months or whatever. Whatever it is that you go through in your mind. Who here has experienced judging yourself and beating yourself up because of something that you feel is important and that you want to do it, but still you're procrastinating and not doing it yet? Share with me in the comments. And the next thing that I want you to share with me in the comments is what excuses or what is keeping you from doing the things that you want to do. Brianna, I think that's a lot of high fives. I can't tell, but high five back to you. So, all right, so while I'm waiting for comments to come in, let's go ahead and dive deep into what is actually going on here. And so, to be honest with you, it's the map. It's our internal map. So let me explain. I'm going to go through quite a few things here with you, just kind of uncovering what the issue is with procrastinating, and then we are going to dive into uncovering your procrastination. So, sorry, my chihuahua is over there in the corner and just started like hacking. I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but it kind of startled me. I didn't know what was going on. He does that every once in a while. He'll get a hairball and start hacking. So the map is actually what is driving our decisions. The map is actually what is causing us to procrastinate. The map is what is causing us to come up with excuses and to put off the things that we know are important to us and our lives. So the map is a visual concept that helps us understand that everyone sees the world differently. We all have our own map of the world. So depending on our upbringing, depending on our attitudes, depending on our beliefs, prejudices, and individual perceptions at any given time, everything that we see and hear is adjusted to fit our map of the world and our life. So let me give a couple of examples here. So I want you to imagine with me, if you would, imagine a big ballroom wedding. And let's just say there are hundreds of people attending, and all of a sudden a big fight breaks out over in the corner of the room, right? So later, as wedding guests are milling around and talking about what happened, every single guest likely has a different perception or a memory or story or meaning about that big fight of actually what really happened. So each guest has a different and unique map. So therefore, they all have different and unique perceptions about what occurred, right? So let me give you another example. So another example, let's just say a beam of white light goes out and it's received by 3 different people. So to one person, the light appears red. To another, the light appears blue. And for the third person, that light appears a dull gray. So this is very similar to what happens as we take in the experiences of life, of our life as we are growing up. So each new experience that we have is actually filtered through our internal map of reality. So your map is your internal map of reality. It is your unique view of the world. and your life. So everyone has a completely unique worldview, and each worldview is equally valid. So why is this map so important? It's because its contents determine our experience of life. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. It determines our experience and every decision that we make. So let's say this again. Its contents determine our experience of life, whether that be in our health, our money, how we perceive and handle money, our careers, which I kind of talked about that in the first part of this live, about how my perception of talking in front of people and getting up in front of people has actually affected my career all through my life. It also affects love. So all the things of life. It is our map that actually enables or limits us in all of our endeavors, in every area of our life. So it is the content of an individual's map that makes something so incredibly easy for one person, but may make something so seemingly impossible for another. So the map is why, let's just say, having a child for one woman feels like absolute bliss, right? But then for another woman, it might feel like a burden, or maybe they just feel like that they're not going to be a good mother, or that they aren't a good mother. So the map is why for one man, it's easy to stay in shape, but for another man, they actually struggle with it. So we each started assembling our map at birth, and over the years, we've added to it. Everything that has ever happened to us, everything we've ever decided to be true, and every belief that we've ever formed is somewhere on our internal map of reality. So our maps contain our beliefs about ourselves. So this is where I'm going with this. So, sorry for the dog. He hears someone walking around in the house. So our map contains our beliefs about ourselves, our capabilities, our deservingness, and how we fit into this world. Our maps contain our attitudes. Our maps contain our perspectives, our expectations, and general orientation towards life. And so, like the highways and byways of a road map, everything that is on our map is somehow connected to everything else. So the meaning that you make out of what happened to you in your life and what is happening to you on a daily basis is determined by your map. So your maps actively determines the meaning you make out of life and out of any life experience that you have or that you face. So each new experience and new meaning made gets added to your map, reinforcing, modifying, and adding to what was already there, and making the whole thing ever more complex. So is this making any sense to you so far? If not, it will. So drop me a yes or a no in the comments if this is resonating or making any sense so far. And thank you all so much for being here with me. So whether you're live, whether you're catching the replay, go ahead and comment below if this is resonating with you at all. Brianna says yes. Yes, me too. And I never understood it until I started going through my own journey and uncovering a lot of things that were happening with me in my life. And I actually started working with my own coach. So yeah, these are things that are going on. Our maps are pretty much automated. So new input gets taken in, evaluated, interpreted, and assigned its place as best as our internal map maker can accomplish those tasks. Okay, so it's a tough gig. So given that everything new, okay, given that everything new has to fit in with everything that is already there. Brianna says, I'm still learning and it makes a lot of sense. Yes, we all are learning. Every single day of our life, every week, every month, every year, we are learning and we are growing. We're either making the decision to stay the same, or we're growing and we're taking the action to continue to learn and to change things around. Hi, Tracy. Thank you so much for being here. Share with us in the comments what you feel or any areas of your life where you've noticed that you've procrastinated. I want to hear from everyone on here, whether you're here live, whether you're catching the replay. Go ahead and post in the comments where you have noticed procrastination showing up in your life. So again, given that everything new has to fit in with everything that is already there. So sometimes things actually get misplaced or incorrectly coded in our map, right? Sometimes the new can't be integrated and it gets rejected. Here's an example. So what this means by something new can't be integrated and it gets rejected, how many of you women on here, and I'm guilty of this, you get a compliment about how pretty you are. You get a compliment about your outfit looks great. And that just bounces off because it doesn't jive with the view that we already have of ourselves. I know that I have irritated my husband several times, him giving me a compliment, and I'm like, no, you're just saying that. Or I'll say, yeah, but it's a little too tight right here, or it could fit better here, or he'll say, oh, your hair looks so pretty, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, it looks a mess. I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do today. Who's guilty of that? I am, and I know most women are. So, unfortunately, our maps contain mistakes and don't always get appropriately updated. That's where the problems can come in. Okay? So listen to me. Mistaken or outdated or not, our maps continue in their automated way to produce our experience of life. Brianna says, me especially, comments on a profile picture, even though I say thank you, I'm my biggest critic. Yes, yes. We all are. Most of us are. Where does that come from? Where does it come from? It comes from our internal map, and it comes from babies, from a very young age. It all comes from that. So again, just to reiterate, mistaken or outdated or not, our maps continue in their automated way to produce our experience of life, right? We all have mistakes and outdatedness on our maps that limit us in life and prevent us from experiencing all of the happiness, all of the fulfillment and success that we would like and that we deserve. So as a coach, I help my client connect to and reroute her own map. So let's go a little bit deeper. So this is where our brain comes in, okay? So everything that I've been talking about, our map, is actually where the brain comes in. We have three brains. We all have three brains. Number one, the brain system. 2, limbic system, and 3, cortex. So what happens is when we are confronted with change, the brainstem freaks out, right? The limbic system generates emotions and the cortex tries to justify all of that. So our critter brain, has anyone ever heard of the critter brain? The critter brain is actually there to protect us, okay? Our critter brain does not like change. Our critter brain wants to keep us the same because that's where we feel safe. Whether we're in a bad situation or a good situation, if we have been living in those situations and that is our norm for us, to our critter brain, we're safe. And whether we're in a bad situation or not, we've been surviving that, right? So our critter brain says, we're surviving. This is our comfort. This is where we belong. We can't go outside of this because we know how to survive this right now. This is what we've been surviving. This is the way everything has been. And anytime that we want to create change or something new happens to us, our critter brain starts objecting to that change. No matter where it is, even at work. How many times have you been at work and they start to change the rules and regulations or start changing things around and we all start freaking out? And we're like, oh my God, what's happening? We do not like change. We are creatures of habit. Even if those habits are destructive to our lives, if that's the way we've been living and that's the way we've been wired, we don't like change. Our critter brain is trying to keep us safe. So therefore, what's going to happen is we are going to find reasons to procrastinate, or we are going to make up reasons to justify why it's not time right now. We'll start Monday, or no, I can't go in exercise right now because whatever's happening. Is this resonating with anyone so far? Go ahead and drop me a comment, give me a thumbs up, let me know that this is resonating with you. So what happens is critter brain goes into freeze reaction and starts freaking out, right? So the cortex rationalizes, okay? So that's where rationalization comes in. And rationalization, can't get that word out, looks like this. Oh, I can't start this week. I have deadlines to focus on. No, not this week. You know what? Little Billy has a baseball practice and he has this tournament coming up, and things are just too crazy. I just can't start right now. Hi, Tracy. Tracy says, definitely a creature of habit, which causes me to procrastinate. Yes, absolutely. And so, Tracy, I don't know if you're just now coming on, but I've already been going through and talking about what is causing our procrastination and the deep root of why we continue to do that. So if you've missed that part, don't worry. Stay here with me. I am going to post the replay so you can go back and watch the beginning of this because it is good juice here. We need to understand where this is coming from and why it's happening in order for us to face it and to uncover it and to be able to turn things around. So another rationalization would be, oh crap, well, I was going to start this week, but I got my period and I just know how crampy I get. My period's really bad. Or you might say something like, no, I can't. Money is too tight this week. I just can't spend the money on the food. I just can't spend the money on this, or whatever it is that we start rationalizing, right? And you'll say, I'll just have to wait until I get caught up on the bills, or I'll just have to wait until I get a few things paid off. How many of you have rationalized in some way like this, similar to or exactly like this? I have. Let me know in the comments, drop in the comments below, what are some of the rationalizations that you come up with, and do those sound familiar to you? So when we are looking at going outside of our norm and what we are comfortable with, getting out of our comfort zone, our critter brain freaks out and tries to protect us by helping us come up with these excuses as to why we can't create change right now. And you need help getting past your critter brain's fear so that you can say yes to yourself. So that you can say yes to the things that you know are going to be more beneficial to you. Right? You need help with this. Brianna says the period one is what I use a lot to do anything around the house. Yes, absolutely. I've used that so many times in my life. Now I've had a hysterectomy and I don't have that issue anymore, so I find myself making up other reasons to procrastinate. But my job is here to help you uncover why you keep procrastinating. All right, are we ready? I hope that all of this is resonating and that it is making sense, and I hope that going forward you can start analyzing what is the reason why you keep procrastinating. And I'm getting ready to go through a coaching segment with you right now. So whether you're here live or whether you're catching the replay, I'm going to go through this coaching session and I want you to write these down. So if you don't have a pen and paper, go get one right now. Go ahead and go get a pen and paper. I want you to write these questions down and I want you to answer them as honestly and accurately as possible, because I'm coming over here today to get you out of procrastination, to uncover why you are procrastinating, and to help you take action, right? We want to take action. So taking some kind of action forward is going to get you out of this procrastination. It is going to get you out of this cycle of beating yourself up and feeling these feelings that you have of being judgmental on yourself. And guess what else happens? When you start procrastinating and you're judgmental about yourself and you're beating yourself up, you also start getting resentful. You get resentful to the people that you love the most, because then you start thinking that they're keeping you from doing the stuff, right? How many times, and I'm saying this because I've been one to say this, I've always worked a full-time job. I've always seen, how many times have you seen women that look to be in good shape, they're taking care of themselves, right? You see them eating healthy for the most part all the time. They're making the time to work out. They're making the time to go run. They're making the time to do yoga. They're making the time to do whatever. And how many times have you said, yeah, well, if I didn't have to work a full-time job and I was able to stay at home and have all that time to do all that, I would be able to eat healthy and exercise too. I've said it. I've said it many times. Let me know if you've said that before. And now, not everybody, but most of us are at home right now, and we have the time at home, but how many of you still are not doing it? You're still not doing the things. And you're at home right now, and you have all this time, most of us, not everybody, but during this pandemic, we're at home, and we're still not doing it. Brianna says, I blame Thomas a lot for my excuses. He gets to stay home and I have to work. Yeah. Yep. We get resentful. I know I have. Let me know if this has happened to you. Let me know in the comments below. Have you made up some kind of excuse or something like that, something similar, and now that you have the time, you're still not doing the things? So a lot of times too, procrastination, our critter brain, it's the fear of change and the fear of not knowing how, the fear of things looking too complicated to accomplish, or we make things complicated, right? We make things complicated in our head, and so we just procrastinate on doing them and we keep making excuses. So let's dive in. Is everyone ready? Let's dive into this coaching session that I've put together for you to help you uncover what you're procrastinating on and why you are procrastinating. And I'm going to help you, if you follow along with me today and you uncover what you are procrastinating on and why, we're going to get you into action. Hi, Sherry. How are you doing? So glad to have you here. All right. Everyone have their piece of paper and pen or pencil? You can answer in the comments if you want to. You don't have to. You can just keep them to yourself and write them down as I go along. And I want you to really get serious about the answers that you're going to write down for these questions and for this coaching segment that we are going through right now, because my job, my passion is to help you move past that fear and past the procrastinating and get you into action. All right? So number one, the first thing that I want you to answer, what are you currently procrastinating on? And I know that there could be a list, but I want to know the one thing that you keep procrastinating on that you know would make a huge difference in your life, in your health, in your life, whatever it is. But that one thing that if you committed to it, you know would make all the difference in the world. Brianna says, working out. All right. Who else? Who else wants to share with us what you are currently procrastinating on? So write that down. Even if you don't want to share with me in the comments, I want you to write it down for you. What are you currently procrastinating on? That one thing. Let's just focus on one thing right now. That's another issue that we have, is we focus on too many things. We're trying to do all the things because we think that all of those things we have to do in order to be successful and to move forward. And if we can't do all the things, then we don't do anything. That is hindering our ability to get up and move and to make things happen. So inaction is the cause for stress. Inaction is the cause of fear. Inaction is the cause of depression. Inaction is the cause of us beating ourselves up. Inaction is the cause of us judging ourselves. It's the cause of judging others. Inaction on the things that we deem most important is what causes us to resent other people and our loved ones. All right. So now that you've got that one thing that you know you've been procrastinating on, what are you choosing to do, or where are you focusing your energy instead? So what are you choosing to do, or where are you focusing your energy instead of on the activity that you just mentioned or wrote down in question 1? Write that down. Write that down, because I want you to take all of this away with you today, and I want you to read over it and read over it and read over it until you understand. So I'm going to say it again. What are you choosing to do instead of that one activity that you keep procrastinating on, or where are you focusing your energy instead of that activity that you just mentioned? Brianna says, choosing to sit and watch my shows because it's my me time. Love that. Love that. Yes, my me time. So let's talk about that for just a moment, because we all get into that, right? Absolutely, we all need me time. We all need that. But sometimes at some point, we kind of go overboard with that, right? We start using that as a procrastination, as a, oh, this is my me time. So, or we'll say, you know, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, I'm tired, so this is my time right now. But how long is our time? How long is our me time? But that's a good one. We all say that, but we all need the me time. So don't do away with your me time. Let's just evaluate how much me time am I getting and how much me time am I truly needing. And what if we reframed the my me time to actually taking the action to accomplish the thing that we've been procrastinating on? So I want to invite you to reframe the my me time, and working out is your me time as well. Because without taking care of ourselves, eventually there's not going to be a me, right? And I know that kind of sounds harsh, but let's think about that. So let's reframe my me time is actually going to be a part of the action that puts me into the action of the very thing that I've been procrastinating on, right? Hi, Donna. Thank you for being here. Yes, Brianna, it's true. It absolutely is true. I find myself doing it quite often, so many times, especially in the first 2 weeks. Especially in the first 2 weeks of this pandemic, I would sit on the couch and first of all, I would sit on the couch every morning drinking my coffee and watching the news way longer than I ever used to, because I was absorbing all this that was going on, right? We all have been, we all are. And then in the evenings, I was sitting on the couch with my wine and saying, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch something that I want to watch. And I just stayed there and just binge watch TV for hours. Like 1 hour turns into 3 hours. It happens. But we have to learn what's causing us to procrastinate, what's keeping us stuck, and call our own selves out on our own bullshit, which is really what we have to do. We really have to get honest with what are these things. And I even had to do it. And so I'm sharing with you these tools to help you get uncovered anytime, because we're all going to face procrastination. We're all going to face excuses. We're all going, even from this day going forward, we might get into action on this one thing, and somewhere down the line, there's something else we want to accomplish, and we find ourselves procrastinating over it. So I want you to save these questions, and anytime you find yourself procrastinating, go through this exercise that I'm giving you to help you get unstuck. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. So now that you've got that written down of what you're doing, or where you're focusing your energy instead of the actual activity that you mentioned in question number 1, the next thing I want you to ask yourself is, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being urgent, how big of a priority is this activity? And get super honest with yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, there goes my chihuahua again. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how urgent is this, or how big of a priority is this activity for you? Brianna says a hard 3. So, thank you for sharing that. So, if it's not on the high end of being urgent, you're just going to continue procrastinating. It has to be something urgent. It has to be something that you have connected with. It has to be something that you know, without a doubt, you need to be doing this. And if it's not high on that 1 to 10 scale as being urgent, you're probably going to continue to focus on the other thing that you're currently putting your energy towards. Sorry about that, folks. on just a minute, folks. Oh, Daddy's got the dog. Thanks, babe.
I'm going to run up to work real quick. Hi, everybody. Here.
That's my sweet man. All right. So, that's a lot of dogs, Brianna. Oh, he already walked out of the room. I'll tell him you said hi as soon as we get off here. All right, so the next thing I'm going to ask you, have you put a deadline in place? If yes, when is it? And when I say a deadline in place, have you put a deadline in place of getting the achievement done? Not just to start, but have you put a timeline as to what you are going to allow yourself to accomplish this task? I don't think you have to worry about excusing any language with me. If you haven't heard any of my lives and seen any of my posts already, language is not a problem with me. I'm a firm believer that everyone should use language freely, because otherwise what happens is your throat starts getting swollen up or starts getting sore because you're holding back what you really want to say. So just say it. So Brianna says, excuse my language, but hell no. So, okay. So that's another issue of why we can't get into action, is because we haven't really put a deadline in place. We haven't really looked at what does the accomplishment look like? What does the goal look like, right? So what is the goal I'm trying to achieve? And what timeline do I want to give myself to achieve this? So if you have not given yourself a timeline, I want you to give yourself one today. Whatever it is that you're wanting to accomplish, I want you to give yourself a timeline, but make it an achievable timeline. Okay? And within that achievable timeline, you're going to give yourself achievable markers along the way. So let's just say you give yourself 90 days. 90 days. Okay, in that 90 days, by the end of that 90 days, what do I want to have accomplished with this one thing that you wrote down? So let's talk about the one thing that you wrote down. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Thank you for being here. And within that timeline, okay, on each week, what is it that I feel I need to do to achieve that big goal at the end? So I want you to put a deadline in place. And if you want to share that deadline with us in the comments, I would love for you to. I would love to be able to cheer you on and give you some accountability. Let's cheer each other on and give each other accountability, just to kind of help lift each other up. And in this time right now, community is huge, right? We need to be here for each other. We need to help each other. Okay, Brianna, it's okay if you don't know right now. So when we get off of this live, really think about it. Go back through your answers on this and really hone in on what that goal looks like for you. Okay, so next, so let's look at it this way. Whatever your answer was for number 2, choosing to do the answer that you gave for number 2 instead of the answer that you gave to question number 1, which is the very thing that you are procrastinating on. So when you choose to do number 2 over number 1, does this feel empowering or disempowering? Answer that question. When you choose to do number 2 over number 1, which is the true thing that you keep procrastinating on, that you know would make a huge difference in your life, your health, career, whatever, does this feel empowering when you choose that over the other, or does it feel disempowering? Brianna says disempowering. Thank you for sharing. So go ahead and write that down. Now the next one, I want you to list all the positive intentions for procrastinating. Yes, you heard me right. All of the positive intentions for procrastinating. It may not seem like it, but if procrastination wanted something positive for you, what would that be? So remember, what I went over earlier in this live is talking about the critter brain and how the critter brain wants to keep us safe, right? So anytime there is something happening, whether it be negative, whatever it is that is keeping us from accomplishing the thing, the very thing that we want to do, there is a positive intention in that. So I want you to take the time right now and list all the positive intentions for procrastinating. And let me just give you some examples so if you're having a hard time thinking of some of the examples of what the positive intentions are for your procrastination, so let's just say, well, if I start eating healthier and losing weight and my partner doesn't, then I'm going to feel bad for them, and they may start feeling bad for themselves because they're not losing the weight and they're not able to do the things that I'm doing. If I start working out, then I'm taken away from spending time with my loved ones. I'm taking away time that I could be spending with my kids, with my husband, with my friends, right? Those might be some of the positive underlying intentions of your critter brain keeping you procrastinating. I'm afraid if I take a certification course of that course that I've really been wanting to do, or go back to school, or whatever it is, that my siblings might look at me differently because they were not able to or haven't created the time, space, or money to do it themselves. And so they might look at me differently. Those are just some examples. If I start eating healthier food, then my friends might look at me differently when I go to the restaurant and I order different things from what they order. I don't know. It could be any of those things. So I want you to list all the positive intentions for procrastinating. And it might take you a little bit, you might need a little time to think about those things. Okay? So the next thing I want you to ask yourself, what, if anything, might you have to let go of in order to take one step forward? What, if anything, might you have to let go of in order to take one step forward? Maybe you need to let go of the thought of working out and exercising as a chore instead of being your me time. Maybe you need to let go of something on your calendar that doesn't help you work towards that goal. It's getting in your way and you're afraid to say no because you're afraid of hurting someone's feelings. Maybe you need to learn how to say no to some things. Maybe if you feel like you get healthier and fit and then your partner doesn't, maybe you need to let go of the thought that they are going to feel neglected or disempowered or feel that your relationship isn't the same because you're healthier now and they're not. Maybe you need to look at it like, if I start doing this and taking care of myself, they're going to see the change and the difference in me. And I'm going to have even that much more energy to spend good quality time with my partner. And my partner will catch on and start being healthier as well. Maybe my kids will catch on and start eating healthier and being healthier as well. I'm going to be a good role model for them. That it is very important that we take care of our bodies and nurture. And so I'm doing this for them because I want to be healthy and I want to be here as long as I possibly can with my family, with my loved ones. And not only do I want to be here with them for that long, I want to have a good quality of life while I'm here with them for that long. I want to be able to play with my kids. I want to be able to play with my grandkids. I want to be able to have the energy to go out with my husband and to do the things that we want to do. So what, if anything, might you have to let go of in order to take one step forward? Maybe you need to let go of the thought process of it's too complicated, it's too hard, or it costs too much money to be healthy. All right, so now what I want to ask you is, what is your desired outcome? What are you wanting? And this kind of goes back to the goal, right? So going back to the goal, I want you to get really honest with yourself. What is it that you are really wanting? And then once you've decided that, I want you to ask yourself, what will having this do for me? If I accomplish that, Brianna says, looks hot as shit. All right. So whatever you feel looks hot as shit is like, what does that look like to you? What does that mean? Is it a certain weight? Is it a certain size? Feeling, emotion of when you look at yourself in the mirror? What does that look like for you? Everyone's different. So you need to figure out, what does that look like for you? And make sure that it is something realistic and reasonable, okay? So what will having that do for you? If you look hot as shit, what is that going to do for you? What would losing 20 pounds do for you? What would going from, I don't know, I'm just going to use myself as an example. What would going from a size 14 to a size 4 do for you? What's important about that? Brianna says being healthy and putting on jeans, not leggings. Yes. Yes. So focus on that. Focus on that. And what does being healthy look like to you? What does being healthy look like to you? What does it mean to you? Maybe it's going to mean I'm going to be able to get down on the floor and play with my kids or my grandkids for as long as I possibly can and run around in the yard with them. Maybe that means I'm going to be able to put those jeans on, and when I look in the mirror, I'm going to feel beautiful and sexy. And therefore, if I feel beautiful and sexy because of the way I see myself when I look in the mirror, that means that I'm going to come across even more beautiful and sexy to my husband, right? Then I want you to ask yourself, how will you know? How will you know that you're getting the results that you want? How do you know? What does that look like to you? What are you going to see? What are you going to hear? What are you going to touch? Or what are you going to smell? What is going to let you know that you are getting what you want? That you're on track. You're moving towards that goal. What you're doing is working. What's going to let you know that? Brianna says not being out of breath, doing simple tasks, and doing sports with Viola when she gets older. Absolutely. Absolutely. Write that down. Write it down. I want you folks to write this down and go back and read it over and over and over. The next thing I want to ask you, what is slowing you down? What is slowing you down, standing in the way, or stopping you from achieving this right now? What's stopping you? And really think about that. Really think about what is stopping you. What's getting in your way? What is slowing you down from achieving this thing that you've been procrastinating on for so long, but you know would have such a huge impact on your well-being, your health, your life, your family, your relationship, your career? What is it? And get truly honest with yourself. What is standing in your way? What is slowing you down? What is stopping you? And the next thing I want you to ask yourself, what needs to change? What needs to change in order for you to take action and really get serious and work on what you want? What needs to change? Be honest. And then I want you to ask yourself, how do you know that this is what needs to change? How do you know that this is what needs to change in order for you to move forward and get what you want and work towards your goal and get that end desired outcome? So think about that. And then I want you to ask yourself, based on these insights that we have uncovered today, what is the one action that you are going to put into play today? What is the one action that you are going to do starting today? What is that one action that you're going to take starting today? And by when? Maybe you can't do it today. Maybe there's something going on, but by when? What is that one action, and by when are you going to take it? All right. So there you go. I hope that I have been able to uncover what is causing you to procrastinate. I hope that I have been able to help you get to the bottom of the real reason why you keep procrastinating. And if you came in late, that's okay. Don't worry. I am going to post this and you can catch the replay so that you can catch the beginning as to what is truly happening as to why we keep procrastinating, so that you can understand why this keeps showing up in your life in many different ways. Brianna said, start being physically involved more in my life starts today. All right, Brianna, awesome. What are you going to do today that is going to be physical? Share with us. I want to help hold you accountable, and I want to cheer you on as you go through. What are you going to do today? What do you consider physical? Everyone is different, and so many people think that if they can't go to the gym and they can't work out really hard for an hour on weight machines and the treadmill, they feel like if they can't do that, then there's no reason to do it. But movement comes in so many different ways. So many different ways. So share with me, or share with us if you don't mind, what movement are you going to do starting today, and what time are you going to do it today? So let's not just say today. We've got to get really specific. We've got to put it on the calendar. We need to set a reminder, and we need to commit to ourselves. We need to say yes to ourselves if we really want to start moving. So I am not sure if you've seen or not. I want to share with you before I get off here. I am running my 14-day mind and body reclamation cleanse, and it is actually going on sale tomorrow at 8 a.m. I'm super excited. This cleanse is part of my bigger 90-day, the Live More method for women who want to slim down, ditch bloat, and double their energy. But I have pulled it back out and am offering this 2-week, 14-day cleanse. I call it a body and mind reclamation cleanse, or a reset. It actually kicks off on April the 27th, but I am, open enrollment starts tomorrow, and it's going to go through Monday. There's only a limited amount of spots that I'm going to have in this program. I think I'm going to open up 50 spots. And tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, I am going to have an early bird special for the first 10 people to sign up for my program. So if you want to stop procrastinating, if you want to get into action, I am here to help you do that. And I know that during this time, during this pandemic, we have all gotten into not focusing on ourselves, and we're eating things that we know we shouldn't be eating, and anything that was showing up for us before this pandemic ever started is actually magnified right now, and is actually magnified tenfold, I'm sure. I've been seeing all the posts. I've been seeing so many people talking about they can't stay out of the refrigerator. All they keep doing is eating and binging and watching Netflix. And if you are tired of being in that situation and you want help and get a jump start on taking back control of your body, your mind, and really uncover your relationship to food, and really learning what foods work best for your body and what foods don't, I encourage you to go through this 14-day cleanse with me. And this is not something where I just give you a handout and you go on your merry way. I am going to be coaching you through every step of the way. You're not going to go at this alone, and it's not something that you just start all of a sudden. So one of the biggest things that I feel is a downfall when anyone goes into something like this, even for a short period of time, people are not prepared enough. So the 27th is not the day the actual cleanse starts taking place, okay? The 27th actually, that week is the week that I'm going to help you get prepared physically, mentally, and emotionally before you actually start the 7-day cleanse process. So it's going to be 7 days preparing, 7 days cleansing, and then 7 days reintroducing foods back into your body and really learning what is really going on emotionally, physically, with food, and really learning to get in tune with your body and really understanding what certain foods are doing in your body. So I want to let you know what my cleanse is not, okay? This cleanse is not a deprivation diet. It is not a juice cleanse. It is not a counting calories, weighing this, weighing that, and you have to eat this specific at this time. It is not that. So I want to let you know right here, right now, that this cleanse is all about eliminating the bad things that normally cause inflammation and upset in our bodies, like sugar, alcohol, dairy, nuts, caffeine, those things. So eliminating the things that normally wreak havoc on us, right? And just incorporating, nourishing our bodies with whole nutrient-dense food. So if it grows, most likely you can eat it. So you're not going to be hungry on this cleanse. You can eat as much as you want as long as it is real, whole nutrient-dense foods. So there are things that we will be eliminating, and I will go through what those things are and share with you why it is important that we eliminate those things, because we want to detox. We want to reset our metabolism. We want to reset what is in our body so that we can actually start listening to our body, because our body tells us all the time what it needs and what it doesn't need. And a lot of times these things that we're putting into our body, like sugar and caffeine and alcohol and those things, is actually triggering our cravings. And not only that, our stress, our emotional needs actually trigger our cravings. So you're going to learn so much in this 14-day program. And it's not just going to be a 14-day thing. You're going to learn things that you're going to want to take away and continue doing that is really going to have a huge benefit on your health and well-being. And it's really going to just help you know going forward what to eat, what not to eat, based on you individually as a person, not just because some fad diet says you can or can't have something. So I want to make it very clear what this cleanse is not. So that is starting. It is opening. I am opening up enrollment starting tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. First 10 people is going to get a special early bird price. And if you are interested and you want more information about this 14-day mind and body reclamation cleanse, send me a message. You can either comment below, you can send me a direct message. I will be more than happy to send you additional details and answer any questions that you might have. So again, yes, you will get a cleanse guide. Yes, you will get my coaching app that is going to have this 14-day cleanse on it, that is going to give you daily recipes, daily suggested meal plans, and that kind of thing. These things are just a guide, and it is not something that you have to follow to a T directly. It's just to give you some ideas of what you can have and how you can make things. But I'm going to be walking you through how to simplify everything and not to overthink everything and make it complicated. So again, if you want information on that, tell me yes in the comments. Send me information on your reclamation cleanse, or you can send me a direct message. I'll be more than happy to send you additional details. But if you are tired of going at this alone and you are wanting to make a change once and for all and get out of procrastination and into action, and you want help with that, I would love to be on this journey with you. So make sure that you reach out to me. Don't put it off any longer. It's not that complicated. I'm going to help you see, and you're going to feel amazing. You're going to feel so much better afterwards, and not just in your body and how you feel, but in being able to relax into the fact that you now understand what's going on in your body, and you now have a better understanding of the foods that work best for your body and what foods don't. And you're going to have control over your cravings. You're going to have an understanding and a control over what you eat and why you're eating it. And I'm not saying going forward that you can't ever have fast food or you can't ever have the snacks that you love. You're just going to be more in control of that now. And you're going to be more mindful over that. And you're going to truly, clearly be able to make a decision. Do I really want that? Or is something else calling to be nourished? Because sometimes our emotions, right, or a lack of something in another area of our life actually shows up in food cravings, because our body, that's how our body talks to us. So these are the things that we're going to learn and that we're going to talk about during this 2 to 3 week period. It really is a 3-week period because I'm coaching you the week before to help you get prepared for that 7-day elimination. So I don't care what it is that you have on a daily basis or that you think you have to have. I know that you can commit to yourself for at least 7 days eliminating sugar, dairy, caffeine, alcohol. I know you can do it. So it's really not that big of a commitment as far as time-wise. But what you learn in that short amount of time is huge, and you can carry it for the rest of your life. It's something you can take further than just the 14 days. All right. Okay, Brianna, I'll send you information. Absolutely. All right, ladies, thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope that this coaching session was helpful to you. And I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope that you allow me to guide you on your health and wellness. Thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful Friday. Bye. If I can get it to cut off, it's not responding to me.